everybody. I wanted to do a video today on goals, and not just goals, but resolutions. And I think the biggest misconception a lot of people are having right now is you have to wait until the new year, and not just the new year, but you have to write yearly resolutions. And I wanted to real quick, and I already have a video about writing real goals, and I know a lot of self-help gurus, charge $1,500 up to $5,000 just to come to these seminars. And I did the entire lesson for free. And I wanted to kind of bring in some of writing real goals and also a little bit of the spiritual mind. And the spiritual mind is our imagination, your perception, your intuition, your reason, your memory, right? Your creativity and subconscious mind. These are all things, right, that no matter how good we get at computer coding, it's not going to matter if we can computer code, right? You cannot code or program the spiritual mind. This is what I like to refer to also as your creative mind. Your imagination, your perception, your memory, your reason, your intuition, your free will. It's only free when you discover yourself on the inside, and your creativity and subconscious mind. These are all parts of the spiritual mind. And what this has to do with resolutions and goals is when you write a real goal is not, I want to increase my sales or lose weight. The subconscious mind needs clear and direct, precise commands, because the subconscious mind, your subconscious mind cannot differentiate between fact or fiction. It can't tell the difference. You need to give it precise and accurate goals. And you do that by writing them down. Literally, getting a piece of paper and writing down your real goal. Well, what's a real goal, Seiluke? A real goal is something that asks you to become a completely new version of yourself. The old version is obsolete. It no longer exists. You're a completely new version of yourself. This is the only way you'll ever solve problems, is you are the only solution, and you are the only problem you will ever have. So when you write real goals, you look back and you overcome all of these so-called problems in your life. The only way you're ever going to fix a problem is by making the old systems obsolete. You have to make completely new systems, completely new solutions. But how do you do this? You all understand that everything starts with yourself first. So if everything starts with yourself first, you need to write a real goal to become a completely new version of yourself. All the time. Not every year. Fuck New Year's resolutions. Excuse my language. Who cares about New Year's resolutions? You need to be becoming a new version of yourself every single day, every single week, every single month. Because whatever's not growing is dying. You're dying. And the only way you're going to keep growing is if you're growing every single day and every single week and every single month. So you need to write out your real goal, or how you're going to become a completely new version of yourself. If that's either in relationships, or if that's either in your health, or if that's either in your career. So you get your pen, you get your paper, and you write it out. Right? New version of myself. If you want to, it needs to be precise. Lose 15 pounds, but you need to have a deadline. A goal without a deadline is just a fantasy. It's a pipe dream. And it's going to go right down the pipe. Unless if you have a deadline, you need a deadline. So you write out, lose 15 pounds, right? You're being precise. And then you also write out by, let's say, January 31st, March 31st. If you have a relationship goal, I would like to go on 3 dates with somebody I have not met yet by March 31st. Maybe it's a career goal, right? I would like to sell more meat. I would like to sell more whatever it may be by March 31st. But it's got to be precise. You got to look at this goal and you got to say, you got to literally look at this goal and you got to shake in your boots. Like, oh my goodness, I can't do that. And when you say, I can't do that, you have a real goal. Now, our spiritual mind, your spiritual mind, everything we talked about is what allows you, though, to go into the future. Go into the future and literally bring it back into the present moment. Anything, absolutely anything is possible. Don't tell me anything's not possible. And when 2 years I went from the ghettos in a foreign country to living the life I'm living now. Now don't get me wrong, there was 5 years before that where I was self-improving through 30 jobs, traveling the world, had to overcome several rock bottoms. And I'm only 26. And I've cured millions of dollars in diseases now. I've already published my own books. I'm about to publish 2 more. I own my own successful projects, businesses. Anything is possible. The only thing that's lacking is the awareness. And this is why you need to have an open mind. When you have an open mind, the only thing you need to obtain is now the awareness. Don't be a sheep. Don't die a sheep. I see sheep in the United States. I see sheep in Mexico. I see sheep everywhere. They just fall for all these bullshit labels. Christian, Catholic, Mexican, American, Peruvian, Guatemalan, Canadian, British. Like, that's not even a real thing. It's a bunch of propaganda that a few families who own all of the media legally, legal documents, own all of the media legally, have all of trillions of dollars reserved in gold and other methods. They own all of the health organizations, and they spend billions of dollars advertising you all of this bullshit propaganda or these labels. And then they go back and they spend billions of more dollars, right? Since they own all of the bought-out politicians, right? The politicians have to be endorsed by somebody. Why not the richest, aka and most corrupt families in the world that are going to feed you all of this propaganda, aka history, right? That's what they call it, history, to even feed you up even more of these bullshit dogma mass. You know, Mark Zuckerberg, I don't like Mark Zuckerberg anymore. He went down the drain. Before Mark Zuckerberg went down the drain, the most powerful human, arguably right now on the planet, you know, before he became corrupt, he was the most powerful human. You know, he went to India, right? He went to India on a spiritual retreat. And this spiritual retreat in India, Mark Zuckerberg discovered one motto. All is one. We're all one. When you let go of all these bullshit labels, excuse my language, we're all one. Guess who went to this spiritual retreat in India before Mark Zuckerberg? Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. And then Mark Zuckerberg, and then one of the big fish at eBay. And then several other CEOs from South America, Europe, Asia. They all went there. And the motto was, all is one. You want to know how to let go of all these labels? You discover yourself on the inside, the 400 trillion to 1 miracle that you are on the inside. The inside. And then you let go of all of the delusion, aka the physical world, along with all of these labels and dogma mass. And this is what allows you, though, you want to write real goals. You want to write real goals that ask you to keep becoming a new version of yourself. You know, Brandon and I are going to talk tonight on Skype, or we're going to live stream new versions of yourself. And this is what it's all about. You know, with your spiritual mind, you have the ability, after you write your real goal, to get creative with your perception, with your imagination, with your intuition and creativity. Feel those voices, creative voices. You don't need to get high on pot or weed to feel those creative voices. You don't got to get drunk or drink a bunch of alcohol to get creative. What you need to do is just practice it, just like a muscle. The spiritual mind is like a muscle. Your imagination, your focus, all of it's like a muscle that you have to exercise. So you write out your real goal, and this is just an example. You already have your real goal written out. Let's say mine was to lose 15 pounds by March 31st. Let's say yours is a career goal. And you have your deadline, you have it written out. Now this is where your spiritual mind comes in. This is what being created in the Creator's highest image really means. You have a creative mind that no other form of life has. The dogs don't have it. The cats don't have it. The trees don't have it. Only we have a creative mind. And a lot of people are going around like a dog, like a sheep. They don't think, right? This is why I always say you got to stop and respond to life. Stop thinking. I'm not creating more sheep. I'm not creating more followers. I'm creating more leaders. I'm creating more creators. Because you bet your bottom dollar within these next 10 years, every single person is going to be a lot more dead than some fake corona. If you do not understand what I'm teaching you right now, if you don't understand how the creative mind works, if you don't understand how to actually stop and think for yourself, you're going to be dead in the next 10 years. If you don't understand how to let go of all these bullshit labels, you're going to be dead within the next 10 years. This is very important. There's only going to be creators and healers alive within the next 10, 15 years. And this is the truth. And this is how life works, right? Life is always evolving and growing through the vibration of miracles. 528 hertz, scientifically. No doubt about it. We are the highest form of life, but life is evolving at a rate faster than ever before. And a lot of these closed-minded individuals are going to be dead. It's just that simple. And they're going to stand up and say it's the end times, it's this, and that, and all the closed-minded individuals are going to be dead. You have your real goal written out. You have your real goal written out. So what do you do now, right? I want to lose 15 pounds by March 31st. What do you do, Seiluke? You have your goal written out. So what you do is, as I said, you need to go out like a treasure hunt, like an Easter egg hunt, and find all of the pieces that you are not aware of right now. This is literally a research project. And a lot of you say, I don't like research projects. Well, that's why you've discovered yourself and you have a real goal written out that you're passionate about, that reflects the real you that you love and is going to ask the real you that you love to grow up. So you go out and you find these Easter eggs, right? You go out and you do the research. And you obtain the little pieces of knowledge or wisdom that you don't have yet. But you got to do the research to where you're at least aware of it now. And then you have your real goal at 15 pounds. You know, my goal was literally, I lost 30 pounds of fat in a month and a half, 45 days. A lot of you say, that's ridiculous. It's not ridiculous. You can go watch my video on how I did it. And you know how I did it was I did the research. And I'm going to give you some research project pointers. One, you find real people. You find real people that actually understand what they're talking about. Any fool can know, but a wise man understands. So you go out and you find real people that actually understand. So I went out and I found real people on YouTube that actually understand, right? They're not talking out of their butt. They're not just pulling things up from what they heard from the propaganda or some random person on the street. It's not gossip. So you find somebody that actually understands. And I found Chris Hera. I found several websites that were third-party websites, third-party research, and third-party science. And then I also found, I believe, I can't remember the other. There was other YouTube channels. I list them all in the video on how I lost 30 pounds in 45 days. I believe it was actually 36, 37 days. So, and then I gained all of the awareness on how I could actually obtain that goal. And as I said, I wrote it all out while I was doing the research. So you have your real goal, you have your deadline, and then you're doing the research and you're writing out everything you're going to have to do. And for any committed man or woman or soul that's wanting to make himself, aka the world, a better place, because when you self-improve, all of the world improves. So you have your real goal. You have it written out, and then since you're committed to making the world a more loving and better place, either through yourself, aka all of life, then there's no such thing as failure. For a committed man who wants to make the place the world and the universe and galaxies a better place, you embrace failure. You love it. And when you write out, literally on paper, it's a very similar practical exercise that you do. You literally write out a monthly goal, a weekly goal, but you get creative. You could write out everything you do in a year, literally on paper, or type it up on your computer, everything you do that you're going to do in a year. And you can literally examine it, right? This is exactly what business consultants do. I was a business consultant. I was a marketing consultant. Very successful. This is exactly what you're doing. I was a business consultant in multiple countries. Because once again, like I said, I let go of all these labels. I got up in my car, business consultant in multiple countries. This is exactly what you do. You take the macro and you write it out on a piece of paper, the macro yearly, and then you literally examine all the numbers, and then you just have to go out there, as I said again, do your own little research project with your creative mind, and maximize all the numbers you're doing, but twice, 12 times, 10 times, 100 times more efficiently, whatever you want. But all you need to do is obtain the awareness through research. But once you obtain the awareness through research, a lot of people say, well, I don't have the money. Money's not the problem. Money is a after effect. Money is just a small piece of the overall puzzle. When you make the decision, aka write out your goal and the deadline, then you have the passion or the willpower to actually do the research and obtain all of it. You can do it no matter how big it is. You can 100 times your sales. If you write out all of your sales, all of your numbers, everything you're doing, write a real goal, then find out everything you have to do to become that 100 times salesperson. Write it all out, do all the research. And then through self-love, you're going to accomplish it. Write monthly goals, write weekly goals, and don't ever stop. Don't ever stop. The moment you stop is the moment you're dying. I had some computer programmers that are worthy of working on our AI Get Back to Me when I was in Arizona for Christmas. I'm still going to finish the AI as soon as possible. I'm still writing. I'm writing my second book. And the first book is good. The first book is a fantasy book, 220-something thousand words. It was very good. It's above average. I would say $5 minimum on Amazon. But the second book, oh my God, I'm finishing up the second book. I'm at 160,000 words. I would say, give or take, maybe 30,000 words more to go. It's amazing. It makes Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones Game of Trash look like trash. It's going to give Lord of the Rings a run for its money, and I'm being respectful to Lord of the Rings, but it's very good, to say the least. It's going to be a minimum $10 or $15 on Amazon. That's double the value. Double the value. And that was just in one book. And this is the exact mindset I used on our subliminals, which is how we went from very, very mediocre self-improvement subliminals, our first ones, to about halfway. We were doing big juju with our physical subliminals, and now we're just way up there doing crazy things now. It's the same mindset. And a lot of you say, well, I just gave you all of the understanding on how you can embrace this mindset going forward in your life. Don't take this video for granted. Watch this video every day for a week, every day for a month, until you really just grasp it. And you just see the world through this perspective. And you will, oh my God, and you will, in 1 month, 1 week, you will do so much. So much. And it's very important, as I said, with the world that we live in now, you have to understand this mindset. You have to understand these paradigms. You have to have this awareness that I've given you, or else you will be left behind. And I don't want that. I love and appreciate every single one of you. You all have an amazing week, an amazing month, an amazing hour, and an amazing year.